Welcome, everyone, to Senior Care Insights on YouTube. We're really glad you could join us today.
Great to be here.
We're diving into a really important conversation, focusing on, well, how to maintain health and well-being as we age. I'm your host.
And I'm happy to be sharing some insights today. We're aiming to explore some key strategies, practical stuff to help everyone stay strong, active, and independent.
Exactly. We want to give you practical advice, things you can actually use.
That's the goal, helping
Yeah.
people embrace aging with vitality, with strength.
Absolutely. And we have a fair bit to discuss, so maybe we should just jump right into a topic that's really foundational, physical activity.
Yeah.
Because it's about so much more than just, keeping busy, isn't it?
It truly is, yeah. Regular physical activity is, well, it's a cornerstone of healthy aging.
Mm.
It's not just about feeling good, in the moment. It's a really powerful way to prevent a lot of those age-related conditions.
Right.
And, beyond the obvious benefits everyone thinks of, like heart health or weight exercise, actually offers some other really significant advantages.
Like what, for instance?
Well, for example, regular movement really helps improve how your body uses insulin,
Ah, okay.
which becomes, increasingly important as we get older. Helps regulate blood sugar, maybe prevent things like type 2 diabetes.
That's a great point. So when we talk about physical activity, what are the sort of general recommendations for older adults specifically?
Generally, health experts recommend aiming for at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity exercise.
Okay, 150 moderate.
Or if you're doing high intensity, then 75 minutes each week is the target.
And what counts as moderate? Like, how do you know?
Good question. Moderate intensity is, think of it as activity where you can talk okay, but you probably couldn't sing a song, like a brisk walk.
Got it. Okay.
And high intensity, well, that's where you can only get out a few words before needing to catch your breath.
Right. Makes sense.
And in addition to that aerobic stuff, it's really important to include muscle strengthening activities,
Strength training, yeah.
at least 2 days a week. That helps maintain or even build muscle mass.
Which we'll definitely talk more about later.
Exactly. And one more thing, balance exercises. About 3 days a week, really key for preventing falls.
That sounds like a really comprehensive approach. But what if someone's dealing with, say, existing health problems or maybe limited mobility?
That's a very important consideration, yeah.
Yeah.
It's always best to tailor any exercise plan to your own health situation and your abilities.
So talk to your doctor first.
Absolutely. If
Yeah.
you have ongoing health conditions, definitely have a chat with your doctor. Figure out what types, what levels of activity are safe and right for you.
Okay.
But the good news is, even small amounts of activity can be beneficial. More is great, obviously, but just starting where you are and gradually doing a bit more, that's a fantastic approach.
That's encouraging. And I think we've actually put together some examples of exercises that are particularly good for seniors.
We have, yes.
Could you maybe walk us through a couple of those?
Certainly.
Yeah.
Simple things, like standing balance exercises, just carefully lifting one leg, holding that position.
Use a chair for support, maybe?
Definitely, especially at first. You can start with just, say, 5 repetitions on each side, then increase it as you feel stronger, more stable.
Okay.
Another good one is the clock reach exercise.
Clock reach. How does that work?
You imagine a big clock face right in front of you. Then you slowly reach one arm forward, like to 12 o'clock, then maybe to the side, like 3 o'clock,
I see.
and 9 o'clock with the other arm, maybe diagonally too. It's simple, but it improves flexibility, core strength, and it mimics everyday reaching. Makes things like grabbing stuff off a shelf safer.
That's practical. What about legs?
For lower body strength, rear leg raises are excellent. Stand behind a sturdy chair for support.
Right.
Lift one leg straight back. Don't bend the knee. Aim for maybe 10 to 15 reps on each leg.
Those sound like really good starting points, manageable.
Yeah.
Are there other examples you'd recommend?
Sure. We also have the standing one leg balance, but with an arm raise.
Okay. Bit more coordination there.
Exactly. You lift the opposite arm and leg at the same time. Hold it for about 10 seconds. Really good for coordination and, well, balance, obviously. Side leg raises are another one. Again, use a chair. Lift one leg out to the side. Great for strengthening the hips, which is so crucial for stability.
Right. Hip strength is key.
It really is.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, even something like trying to balance a light stick, like a cane or broom handle,
Yeah.
upright on your palm.
Really?
Yeah, it can be a kind of fun way to improve focus and balance. You can even do it sitting down.
Huh. Interesting. What about upper body?
Wall push-ups are a great option.
Yeah.
Gentle, but effective.
How do you do those?
Just stand facing a wall, hands shoulder width apart on the wall. Lean in, bend your elbows, then push back out.
Okay.
Try to work up to maybe 3 to 5 sets of 20 reps eventually.
Sounds good.
And for overall movement, marching in place is surprisingly beneficial. Lift your knees fairly high, alternate legs.
Can do that watching TV?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
You can even coordinate swinging the opposite arm. Aim for about 20 reps. Then there are simple toe raises, just standing and lifting up onto your toes.
Right.
And gentle shoulder rotations, forwards and backwards. Seated or standing, doesn't matter. About 20 reps for those two.
Okay.
And we shouldn't forget hands and fingers. Things like pretending to climb a wall with your fingers or gentle stretches.
Oh, yeah, dexterity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Helps with everyday tasks, like opening jars, buttoning shirts, little things that make a big difference to independence.
That's a fantastic list. Really varied and, like you said, adaptable. Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Something that often concerns people as they age is losing muscle mass. Sarcopenia, I think it's called.
Sarcopenia, yes. It's definitely a significant concern for many older adults. It's basically the age-related loss of both muscle mass and muscle strength.
And it's gradual.
It's a gradual process, yeah. And it can actually start surprisingly early, sometimes even in our 40s.
Wow, that early.
It can, yeah. So it's really important not to overlook it. It can lead to, reduced mobility, a higher risk of falls, and just generally less independence.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, estimates suggest that by the time people reach 80, maybe up to half of older adults could experience significant muscle loss, quite a bit of atrophy.
That's a really striking statistic. So what are the main factors driving this? What causes sarcopenia?
Well, several things come into play. Some are natural hormonal changes that happen with age. That's part of it.
Okay.
But a major contributor is simply decreased physical activity.
Use it or lose it, essentially.
Pretty much, yeah.
Huh.
If we're not regularly challenging our muscles, they tend to weaken and shrink over time.
Makes sense.
Reduced protein intake is another really key factor.
Right. Protein is the building block.
Exactly. And it's also important to realize as we get older, our bodies don't process or use the protein we need quite as efficiently as they did when we were younger.
Oh, interesting. So you might need more.
Often, yes. Or at least you need to be more consistent. Think of it like a construction crew trying to rebuild a wall, but they don't have enough bricks. That's kind of what happens if protein is low.
Good analogy.
And studies have shown, adults over 50 who are inactive can lose a pretty significant chunk of muscle strength each decade. And that muscle loss, that atrophy, just makes the weakness worse. It's a bit of a cycle.
Vicious cycle, yeah. Are there other things, like medical conditions?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Certain chronic health conditions can contribute. Things affecting blood flow, like peripheral artery disease or PAD.
Okay.
Also conditions like cardiovascular disease, chronic heart failure, even Alzheimer's and Parkinson's can play a role in muscle weakness.
So quite a few potential contributors. What can people actually do then to prevent it or at least slow it down?
Staying physically active is, well, it's absolutely crucial. Number one.
Even mobility is limited.
Yes. Even finding ways to move your body, like, say, walking with a walker if needed, that can still significantly improve circulation and help slow down muscle loss.
Okay, that's good to know. Movement is key.
Definitely. And lifestyle choices matter too. Things like stopping smoking,
Right.
being mindful of salt and sugar intake, taking steps to boost circulation generally. These all help.
What about vitamins or minerals?
Vitamin D is essential, really important for muscle function. And unfortunately, deficiency is quite common in older adults.
And that can cause weakness.
It can contribute to muscle weakness, yes.
Yeah.
Similarly, low levels of calcium in the blood can also increase muscle loss.
Okay.
So ultimately, maintaining as much muscle mass as you can is just vital for independence, preventing falls, supporting metabolism, overall quality of life. It's all connected.
You mentioned protein intake being key. Can we maybe dive a bit deeper into that? Just how crucial is protein for older adults?
Absolutely crucial.
Uh-huh.
Protein is, as we said, the fundamental building block. It's what your body uses to repair muscle tissue and build new muscle.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, many older adults just don't get enough.
Why is that typically?
Oh, various reasons. Sometimes it's a reduced appetite. Sometimes dental problems make chewing harder.
Right.
Or even just changes in the sense of taste can make protein-rich foods seem less appealing.
I see.
And like we touched on, it's really important to remember that older bodies don't use protein quite as efficiently. So you often need to consume a bit more to get the same muscle benefit you did when you were younger.
So the body's like less good at using the bricks.
Kind of, yeah. The rebuilding process isn't quite as effective, so you need to make sure you're supplying those building blocks consistently. Maybe thinking about getting some protein with every meal.
Okay, that's a practical tip. So what are the actual recommended amounts? How much protein should older adults aim for?
For healthy older adults, the general recommendation is usually around 1.0 to 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day.
Okay, 1.0 to 1.2 grams per kilo. Can you give an example?
Sure. So if someone weighs 70 kilograms, that's about 154 pounds. They'd need roughly 70 to 84 grams of protein each day.
70 to 84 grams.
Okay. And those needs can actually be even higher for people who are very active or maybe recovering from an illness or an injury. They might need more.
Right. So where should people be getting this protein from? What are the best food sources?
Oh, there are lots of excellent sources. Lean meats like chicken and turkey are great.
Mm-hmm.
Fish is wonderful too, especially fatty fish like salmon or mackerel. You get the protein plus those healthy omega-3 fats.
Right. Double benefit.
Eggs are fantastic, very versatile, packed with essential amino acids.
Can't beat eggs.
Dairy products too. Greek yogurt is a powerhouse. Cottage cheese, milk, regular cheese, all good.
Greek yogurt has more protein, right?
Typically about double the protein of regular yogurt, yeah. And it has casein, which digests slowly, giving you a kind of sustained release of amino acids.
Okay. What about plant-based?
Lots of great options there too. Lentils, beans, soy products like tofu and edamame. Nuts and seeds are good sources as well.
So plenty of choices.
Definitely. And whey protein is often mentioned too.
Like in shakes.
Yeah, often in shakes or powders.
Mm.
It's recognized as very effective because it digests quickly and it's high in leucine.
Leucine. What's special about that?
Leucine is a specific amino acid that really plays a key role in kickstarting muscle protein synthesis, the process of building muscle.
I see.
So studies suggest whey can be particularly helpful for maintaining muscle. Lean beef is also a good source of high-quality protein and that important leucine.
Okay.
And one more tip. Combining your protein intake with some kind of resistance training, like those exercises we mentioned, lifting weights, using bands that really maximizes your body's ability to use that protein to build and repair muscle. They work together.
Protein plus exercise is the magic combo.
Exactly.
Synergy.
So protein is clearly vital, but are there other nutrients, other vitamins or minerals that play significant roles in keeping muscles healthy as we age?
Yes, absolutely. It's not just about protein. Vitamin D, as we mentioned, is crucial.
Right, for muscle function and bones.
And deficiency is common, so it's worth paying attention to. Omega-3 fatty acids, like those in fatty fish.
They can help reduce inflammation throughout the body, which supports muscle health. And they might even make muscles more sensitive, more responsive to the protein you eat.
Oh, interesting.
Then you have antioxidants like vitamin C and E. They help protect muscle cells from damage caused by free radicals.
Okay.
Magnesium is another really important one. It's vital for muscle contraction, for energy production in the cells.
And low magnesium is bad.
Yeah, low levels have been linked to faster muscle loss and even muscle cramps. Good sources are things like nuts and seeds.
Nuts and seeds keep coming up.
They're nutritional powerhouses. Zinc is another mineral to mention. It supports testosterone production, which plays a role in muscle maintenance. Pumpkin seeds are a good source of zinc.
Oh, okay.
And even nitrates, found in leafy green vegetables like spinach and kale.
Nitrates, like in processed meats.
Different source, different effect here.
Yeah.
The nitrates in leafy greens can actually help improve blood flow to muscles, better delivery of nutrients.
Got it. Leafy green's good.
Very good. And vitamin K, also in leafy greens, plays a role in protein metabolism and overall muscle function. So you see, it really is a team effort. Lots of nutrients involved.
It really does sound like a well-rounded diet is just so incredibly important. Okay, now what about our sort of day-to-day habits? How do lifestyle choices impact muscle and bone health as we get older?
Oh, they have a huge impact. Maybe more than we realize sometimes.
Like what specifically?
Well, the big one, again, is lack of regular physical activity. That definitely accelerates muscle loss.
Right.
An unbalanced diet, obviously lacking protein, and those other key nutrients we just talked about. Your body just doesn't have the materials it needs.
Makes sense.
Not getting enough sleep can also negatively affect muscle health and just overall well-being.
Sleep is important for recovery.
Very important. Also, consuming too much sugar and processed foods, that can actually hinder muscle building and often leads to weight gain, which puts extra stress on your bones and joints.
Okay. What else?
Even simple things like not drinking enough water.
Yeah.
Dehydration can cause muscle stiffness, fatigue, reduced performance.
How much water should people aim for?
Generally, Around 2 to 2.5 liters a day is a good target for most people.
Yeah.
About 8-10 glasses.
Okay.
Then there are habits related to movement.
Yeah.
Repeatedly bending, twisting, lifting heavy things incorrectly that can cause damage over time.
Yeah, protect your back.
Absolutely. And spending too much time just sitting, that contributes to muscle weakening, reduced bone density. So getting up, moving around regularly, even gentle movement
Yeah.
is crucial.
Avoid being sedentary.
Exactly. Some other things. Crash dieting can be bad. It can limit calcium absorption, potentially speed up aging. Relying on pain meds without talking to a doctor can have side effects impacting health.
Right.
Even small repetitive motions, excessively bending fingers, your back, your neck, can damage cartilage and ligaments over time.
Things you might not even think about.
Exactly. Wearing high heels for long periods can strain back and leg muscles. Poor posture while sitting or standing. Carrying heavy bags unevenly. Using poor lifting technique. It all puts strain on the spine.
Posture is key.
It really is. And finally, things like frequent deep squatting or excessive stair climbing. While movement is good, too much can put excessive pressure on knee joints for some people. So it's about balance.
Wow. It's quite remarkable how interconnected everything is. I even read something about a connection between gut health and muscle health. Can you explain that a bit?
Yes, that's a really fascinating and growing area of research. It seems that having a healthy gut microbiome, the balance of bacteria in your gut,
Right.
may actually help reduce systemic inflammation in the body.
And inflammation is bad for muscles.
Chronic inflammation can speed up the breakdown of muscle tissue, yes. So a healthier gut might mean less muscle breakdown.
Interesting.
Also, foods rich in fiber, like beans, for example, help maintain stable blood sugar levels. And stable blood sugar helps prevent muscle breakdown, too. And one other point, as we get older, sometimes our gut becomes less efficient at absorbing nutrients from food.
Even if you eat well.
Potentially, yes. So even with a good diet, if absorption is poor, it can impact muscle health. So taking care of your gut has benefits beyond just digestion.
That's a really interesting link. Okay, shifting gears slightly. I understand there's also a connection between our emotional well-being and our physical strength, specifically muscle health.
That's absolutely correct, yeah. Chronic emotional stress. When you're stressed out for long periods, it triggers the release of the hormone cortisol.
The stress hormone.
Exactly. And when cortisol levels stay high for a long time, it can unfortunately lead to the breakdown of muscle tissue.
Wow. Stress breaks down muscle.
It can contribute, yes. It can also suppress the body's ability to build new muscle, and it increases inflammation throughout the body.
So managing stress is important for physical health, too.
Definitely. It highlights how important it is to look after our mental and emotional health, not just for its own sake, but because it really does impact our physical well-being, including maintaining muscle strength as we age.
Okay, let's talk specifically about leg muscle weakness for a moment. That seems like a common concern for seniors. What are some typical causes and symptoms?
Yeah, weakness in the legs is indeed common. And often it does stem from that natural age-related muscle loss, sarcopenia, and just decreased activity levels.
What would someone notice? How does it feel?
Symptoms can vary. Often it's a general feeling of difficulty when walking, maybe struggling to stand up from a chair.
Right, getting out of a chair.
Exactly. A noticeable reduction in leg strength. In more severe cases, it could potentially lead to paralysis, but that's less common and usually tied to specific medical issues.
What kind of issues? What else causes it besides just aging?
Well, injuries to the legs, obviously. Nerve compression, like a pinched nerve in the back or legs.
Sciatica, maybe?
Could be, yeah. Certain underlying medical conditions, too, like myasthenia gravis or thyroid problems.
Okay.
Vitamin D deficiency, which we mentioned. Infections can sometimes cause weakness. Anemia, especially during pregnancy, though less relevant for most seniors, perhaps. And electrolyte imbalances.
So quite a few possibilities.
Yes. And it's really important to stress if someone experiences sudden leg weakness.
Sudden onset.
Yes. Especially if it comes with other symptoms suggesting a stroke like difficulty speaking, numbness on one side that needs immediate medical attention.
Yeah.
9/11 right away.
Absolutely critical.
But for any persistent or worsening leg weakness, definitely see a doctor. Get it checked out to find the underlying cause and get the right advice.
Good advice. Okay, finally, before we wrap up, I wanted to touch on something that might surprise people. The potential risks of taking too many supplements, specifically certain vitamins.
Ah, yes. This is a really important point. While vitamins are essential, it's definitely possible to get too much of a good thing.
More isn't always better.
Exactly. And it can actually be harmful. For instance, fat-soluble vitamins like A and E can build up in the body because we don't easily excrete the excess.
Okay. So what can happen with too much vitamin E, for example?
Well, very high doses might interfere with normal nerve and muscle function, possibly even speed up muscle decline in some situations.
Really?
It can also have a blood thinning effect, which could increase the risk of bruising or falls. Usually, we can get enough vitamin E from food nuts, seeds, spinach.
Right. And vitamin A.
High intake of vitamin A, especially from supplements, has been linked to faster bone loss. And it might even cause muscle weakness, too.
So better to get it from food.
Generally, safer to get vitamin A from beta-carotene and colorful vegetables, yeah. Your body only converts what it needs.
Okay. What about B vitamins? They're water soluble, aren't they?
They are, so excess is usually excreted. But even vitamin B6, if taken in very high doses over a long time, can actually be toxic.
Toxic.
It can potentially cause nerve damage, called peripheral neuropathy. That leads to tingling, numbness, balance problems, often in the legs and feet.
And supplements might have high doses.
Some over-the-counter supplements contain amounts of B6 that are well above the safe upper limit. So again, getting most vitamins from food is generally the safest bet. Talk to your doctor before taking high-dose supplements.
That's incredibly important information. A valuable reminder that, yeah, more isn't always better with supplements. Sometimes it can even backfire.
Absolutely.
Wow. We've covered such a wide range today, really highlighting how interconnected everything is: physical activity, nutrition, lifestyle habits, all impacting health and muscle loss as we age.
Exactly. Being informed, being proactive, those are really the keys, aren't they, to enjoying an active, independent life as we get older,
Mm-hmm.
to paying attention to our bodies, making knowledgeable choices about food and movement, being mindful of our overall well-being. We can all take significant steps towards staying strong and healthy.
That's a great summary. Thank you so much for sharing all your expertise with us today. So much valuable information.
It was my pleasure. Really important topic.
It really is. Okay, for everyone watching, if you found this discussion helpful, please do give this video a like
Yeah, that helps others find it too.
and share it with anyone you think might benefit. We also really encourage you to leave a comment below, share your thoughts, or if you have any questions.
We love hearing from you.
And most importantly, please subscribe to Senior Care Insights. We'll have more valuable discussions and insights on senior health and well-being
We're dedicated to bringing you the info you need.
to live your healthiest and happiest life. So stay tuned for our next deep dive.